We have with us a musician who makes an instrument out of anything he gets in his hands. Let's get more candid with this percussionist. Please welcome the one and only Mr. Sivamani. Welcome,
Hi.
sir.
Namaskar, namaste. Neha.
Yeah, welcome to Kerala.
Oh, it's beautiful. My favorite city, especially in Kerala, because when I come, I can just be peace with the nature. And generally, I just talk. I like to hear because you're a good singer, I heard.
You haven't heard me yet.
I haven't heard, so I like to jam with you.
Definitely.
So you can do one jam. Tataka dina da, di. Da, di. Tata, ding, ka ding, ka ding. Tataka dina da. Why don't you sing something ala?
Okay.
Tataka dina da, ding. Wow, that's great.
Thank you.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much.
Keep it up.
So let's get into the...
Yes, please.
Sir, could you first tell me how you started liking the percussion? Of course, your father is a great percussionist, but then how did you get into learning it?
Actually, yeah, my father, Mr. Sivamani Indian, he was a drummer for K.V. Mahadevan Orchestra. God has put that lion when I was in my mom's womb, listening her heartbeat. That is my first click track, like a drum beat. And then when I came out, I realized my family has music. But I never learned as a guru, going to school, or I never learned because I observe other drummers and I pick up some technique.
Okay, so it was more like a self-learning
process.
process.
Yes, and self-learning.
Okay, and you were like only 12 when you gave your first performance.
Yeah.
Stage performance. So how did that feel?
For SP Balasubramaniam sir. And I started, because I used to go to the studio to take lunch for my father. There I used to practice. Everybody knows Anandan's son is playing. One day my father had an accident and I have to go replace, substitute.
Okay.
My father said in the hospital, you go and play. That is for the background music. I went, I spoke to Mr. K. Mahadevan sir. My father is in the hospital and he said, you have to go and play. So can I play the drums? And immediate Pugarindi sir, he's a great genius, Mr. Pugarindi sir. And he said, go and play. That movie, Climax one reel and the title that day, sound to one recording. The climax, there's a fight scene and I started playing solo. And Pugarindi sir said, no music at all, only drum solo in this fight. So the first opening, I got a solo thing in the studio. So K.V. Mahadevan sir is our family god. Because of his encouragement, I am today. And through K.V. Mahadevan sir, and of course, Mr. S.B. Balasubramanian sir, he recognized there. Because they had a show, K.V. Mahadevan concert. One particular song is, my father said, you play Siva. So I did, and Balu sir was singing. And he saw, and he immediately asked, Anandan, I want to take your son for my road show.
Okay.
That's where I started with him.
But usually, like in the olden times, rhythm was just a support to the orchestra or whatever. But then you brought a very different dimension of the whole term rhythm. So when did you get that kind of a creativity within you?
From childhood, I'm crazy about drumming. Wherever I go in the kitchen, I play. My hand wouldn't be quiet. Still, even now. So that is the thing. I focus on one track, one thing, and I want to develop. And for that, I have lots of opportunity to meet other drummers, observe other technique, how they're playing in abroad. And I have to thank Ustad Zakir Hussain sir, because he encouraged me a lot. In '84, we did a international drum festival. So there are lots of drummers, and I just saw other techniques, and so I developed my own
kind of style.
Yeah, kind of style.
But you never took any kind of formal training as such?
No formal training, only observing. My formal training will be, if I say, in my area where I grown up, it's kind of Basin Bridge. It's in suburb of main station, first station in central, Basin Bridge. That is the area I grown up. My area specialty, there is a folk drummers.
Okay.
Every day they play for when the death, when they go to...
Okay, yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, they used to play. When I was passing there, I just observed the rhythm.
And you initially started doing for recordings, and then you also did for live stages?
Yes, actually, in recording I was full-time, like 25 years behind the screen. And between we go to concert for S.P. Balasubramanian sir, all the Andhra, Tamil Nadu, and of course in abroad also. After 80s only, I just started, 90, I just happened to go to Germany with the jazz band, Mangalam.
Okay.
There I started collecting percussion all over the world, like Africa, Japan, lots of.
So could you tell me the difference between doing a live concert and playing for a recording?
Playing for recording is, I really enjoy playing, but I love to play live.
You like
I'm a very lively person because I want to do something on the stage and that goes directly to the audience. I enjoy live concerts.
More than recordings.
More than recordings.
And what about Mr. Grant?
Noel Grant is my guru, because in the beginning my father he won't allow to touch his drum kit. So whenever he goes out, I started playing. One day he watched me and he saw my drumming and he realized I have a rhythm. So he introduced to Noel Grant.
Okay.
And Noel Grant is another drummer. He plays for Ilayaraja sir, M.S. Viswanathan sir. He's a jazz drummer.
Okay.
So his drumming was totally different than my father. That really captured me.
In what way was it different?
The way he was playing the bass drum coordination with snare and cymbals, it's totally different because he's not giving every beat like bass drum.
Okay.
He was doing another pattern. So that really fascinated me. I really liked it, and I took. He's my Manasiva guru, like, and he's no more. In 1976, he died, but he introduced other music directors to me. He especially said to Chakravarti music director and Ilayaraja sir about me, Sivamani is a good drummer. And I used to imitate like his playing. Sometimes I used to play Rajan Ilayaraja sir's song. I play how he plays. I bring him in my body. Even today when I'm playing in the concert, I call him, please come into me and play, enjoy. So, I love him.
And you've been associated with Mr. KVM, Mr. Raja sir. And what about your association with Rahmanji?
Rahman, we've grown up together in Kodambakam. Kodambakam is my university. AR, from childhood I know, from little boy. And then lots of Malayalam movies to come and play. And I played with A.T. Umar, Arjuna Master, and Devarajan Master, K.J. Joy, and Sam Joseph. Lots of music directors, Johnson, and Ravi, Kolatapur Ravi, and Ausa Bachchan, Vidya Shagar. Lots of Malayalam songs I did, Malayalam movies. Jain is my big fan. He's a year old. And in fact, we were recording in the studio that day in Bharani. He met with the accident. He died that day. For his movie, only doing a background.
Okay.
So AR comes to the studio. We meet different music directors when we're going. Sometimes 3 songs I play one day. So I'll go in different studios. When I go second song to Prasad studio, AR will be there. He's playing for that music director. So we played with T. Rajendran, Ilayaraja sir, and lots of, and Rajkoti. Then one thing, we started a band called Roots. John Anthony, guitar, Jojo, myself, and AR, and Raja. And Roots is a world music band. We used to listen to lots of Peter Gabriel, lots of stuff. And today when I'm playing with AR concerts, I'm remembering like a Peter Gabriel. It's that kind of style of thing. And AR is my good friend, working and playing for his songs, and I'm very proud that he got
The
Grammys
the
and Oscars, and be proud.
You've played with very senior people like Zakir Hussain Saab and Rahman ji, and also with youth icons like Stephen Devasi. So what's the difference you see between the younger generation and the older generation?
See, for me, I follow the music. Wherever I'm going to playing, I don't take over, I have to follow them, what they're doing. Instead of me telling them, no, I'm playing this groove and you follow me, no. You play, I will follow, that's all. The music
But there must be
comes.
some kind of an evolvement of music in the generation.
I love to play with kids, anybody. I'm that kind of thing. I love to, I just jammed with you. I'm just meeting first time. So
it's only music
yeah,
that
music,
matters.
Yeah, matters. The rhythm. I'm in tal. I'm the rhythm. So rhythm need. That's why our band Asia Electric, Niladri Kumar, sitar, Louis Banks, and my drum, my percussion setup. So I do my part as a rhythmist, and Niladri has his classical background. Louis Banks has a jazz. So we put together. I just write them different elements, different moods. So when I'm playing with the kid, definitely I'll just follow how the kid, I just follow him. Yeah.
So you've accompanied jazz artists and you've also played for typical filmy music too.
Yes.
So when you play on a live stage, what do you think is more appealing to the mass?
See, I pray to God, my gurus, please come and play along with me, and I'll check which rhythm they're reacting, the audience.
Okay.
So mostly they react in 6/8
Okay.
rhythm. So I make a pattern. I'll make a chain, story in that 6, and in the 6 what all the tals comes, and I put together, and I won't make complicated like a Carnatic talas, heavy,
Okay.
Chollukattu. Why I want to confuse the audience? They have to come and pulse. They have to listen, simple rhythm, and that's what I do.
Because of reality shows, a lot of the general public knows a little bit about what music is and what is required in singing. Does it bother you that the audience doesn't know a lot in detail about percussion instruments?
Yeah, because nowadays all the kids, they have lots of facility to watch YouTube, lots of different drummers.
Yeah.
Those days we don't have anything. My nature, my runway light, and car indicator sound, and in the toilet I used to put that water tub, I used to follow, and then I go to the beach, the waves, speed, and so
So
many.
you used to basically
yes,
observe everything and any kind of
any
sound.
rhythm. Yes,
Okay.
anything. Even when some girls walking with a high heel shoe makes noise, tock 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 tock. I compose myself and I'll just started log with that rhythm.
But being so busy that, do you think there's a lack of giving time for practice, like how you used to give before?
No, I practice every day. In my
No
room,
matter what.
no, I see people think no Sivamani plays big drums and I never play at home a drum kit. Only in the pillow. So it's a secret. Oh, watching, learn this. I practice in the
Secret
pillow.
revealed.
Yes, and I practice in the pillows. So what happens once you practice in the pillows? Pillow you never bounce. Very hard to play. So after practicing for 2 hours, 3 hours, and you go and sit in the real drum kit, you fly
So you
So it
just
bounce
practice on the pillow?
on the pillows. at home.
Wherever
Wherever I
comes
go.
up, even today?
Today, yes, in my car, in my room, there's a pillow. I practice in that.
Okay, that's a very good piece of
Yes.
information. And what about being associated with the very prestigious project Tera, Mera Tumhara?
Oh, Melesur, I have to thank our Kailash and Louis Banks. Louis, and we were just talking the day we were somewhere in Muscat. So he said, I'm doing this project, redoing this. And then you should do one. Then we were just talking in the studio. Suddenly I got an idea, why not I can start with the water. Why I regularly playing drums. I'll start with rhythm, with nature. So that's why I brought the big tub in the studio. I was just playing. So that
And
was
how has
nice.
the response been for that?
Yeah, the people loved it, and thanks, Kailash. And it's really history, playing, and I'm really honored and blessed to be in that video, along with our great Amitabh ji and lots of all the
Artists throughout
all the artists
India.
throughout. Yes.
You've played for recordings for quite some time. What is the difference you see in those times and now, especially in the
Those
film
times I
music?
used to play with one microphone, and now I'm playing with different, like surround. I'm used in the concert around 30 to 40 microphones.
Okay. So the sounding is pretty
Yes,
great.
this technology is now more advanced.
And how prominent has rhythm been nowadays in today's music?
Today they're doing very well. Boys are really young music directors are doing very well, and I really appreciate them. And the total thing has changed. Look at I was in Chennai reality show. I just saw from Mangalore as a little girl, the way she dancing, the rhythm, the stage, the attitude, and it's beautiful. I couldn't keep quiet. I have to remove my gold chain and I gifted to her. Because when I played, when I was small, one song M.S. Viswanathan composed, Malligai. It's called Malligai En Mannan Mayengum. Vaniji, she sang that song. And that concert, Vanijaram was a guest artist, Balu sir's show. So I was doing what exactly the drummer played. I think Tony DeCosta, another great drummer, he played. So I imitated like him, the pickups, everything. So she got really enjoyed all the fills, gaps. So she has given us 75 rupees for me. Okay. So nowadays all the kids are really very talented. I'm very happy.
Which has been the most memorable show?
My most memorable show, playing with I forgot to tell you about another drummers who inspired first my father, Billy, and then Noel Grant, and then Billy Cobham. Billy Cobham is one of the greatest in the world. Great drummer. He played with Mahavishnu Orchestra. He played with all the artists like Miles Davis and George Duke and Herbie Hancock and lots of. And he's my other guru. And Trilo Kurtu is another great Indian who lives in Germany. He's also an awesome drummer. And Louis Pragasam in Malaysia. These are my idols. I follow them. And I got the chance to meet him in New York. Not in New York. We tried to, myself and my friend Joe Prabhakar lives in New York. We went to GRP Records to gift Chanda, our Kerala instrument. I had one. I want him to use in the album. I'm really crazy about my guru, Billy Coleman. So I went to New York and we couldn't give him because he's not living in New York actually. I went and met him in Switzerland, first time. And afterwards, 1990, I got an invitation and I landed at home from Bangalore. We go 20 days, 15 days for studio work to Bangalore. So when I came back, I saw an invitation. Dynasty Club was inviting me to perform with Ustad Zakir Hussain and Ustad Alara Khan Saab and Bhikkhu Vinayak Ram sir and Billy Coleman. And in the end, and you, Sivamani. I was like shocked. Man, playing with a genius and all the masters. That is my concept. I never forgot. And playing for our ex-president Abdul Kalam sir. That is memorable because after my concert, he couldn't sit quietly. He has to get up from his place and he walked towards my drum kit and he's like a baby, started playing. Yeah.
And I noticed that you accessorize a lot. You know, you make sure you wear matching shoes with a matching top and you accessorize a lot.
Yes.
So is it a very conscious thing that you put up because you're performing in front of a large audience and you need to look good and provide a style statement as such?
Yeah, this bandana become like a trademark.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because A.R. Rahman has gifted me one cap, prayer cap. And I was wearing one TV show and it really suits me. And that's why I started collecting different caps, hats and bandanas. And so that became, and then all the junk jewelries and I went to Manasarovar.
Okay.
I picked up there in Lhasa. And wherever I just see, I pick up and match them. Yeah.
Okay. And what about your future projects?
My future project, my Mahalila album is released last year. Now the second album going to launch. And then I want to start a school.
Only
Percussion.
for percussion.
Percussion school.
And where is it? Throughout India or only in a place or something?
First, I want to start where I am living closer. So I
in
live in Bombay.
Okay.
So I'm thinking of starting in near to Bombay. And then we'll see the branches. We'll just bring.
Thank you so much for being a part of this show and sharing so much information and for jamming. And could you also give a small piece of advice to our future musicians?
Okay, and thank you once again bringing in this show. And all the kids who wants to take music or you practice, very important. And take out all your egos, throw it. It's not going to help at all. If you have an ego in your heart, your rhythm will become heavy, your hand, body will become heavy. You can't fly. You can't go further. So take all the ego, throw it and practice. Appreciate everyone. And every hand has got their own taste God has given. Okay.
And can you play something, a teeny weeny bit?
Play something.
That would be the best way to close the show.
tadi